Romans chapter 7 and verse 14, it says, "For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin." First, I'd like to begin this lesson by giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, double honor to the apostles of Raymond Stone and rural salutation and blessing to the Akim, sincere Akim, pushing us word in sincerity and in all truth. Alright, Brother Howard, and I'm back again to do a video, and hopefully this video will be edifying to the Lord's flock. And I want to wrap to you about, the enemy. The enemy, we understand that the enemy, we tend to call the enemy Esau Edom, which is our enemy, right? He's the one who set things in our streets with difficulty through the spirit and power of Hashem Yeshai. He executing, the wicked acts on this earth towards the Lord's people, by way of vaccine, by the way of wars, by the way of hate, right? And the scriptures speak about loving your enemies, speak about blessing them that spitefully use them, whatever the case might be, in order for you to make it to the kingdom of heaven, right? In order for it to be accepted, by Yahushai. Because if we don't do that, really and truly, you will be holding on to something that keeping you back from making it. Because that state of mind will always be in your head that this man do me this, and he do my whoever this, and I don't like that. But as the scripture says, it says, "For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am a carnal man. But I am carnal, soul under sin." And hating the enemy and allowing the enemy to overpower you, that is sin within itself. That is sin within itself. Just give me a second, let me pause this. Right? See, that is sin within itself. And that enemy I'm speaking about, I ain't speaking about Esau, I ain't speaking about Esau Edom, I ain't speaking about no other nation, but I'm speaking about that enemy being you. You is that enemy. You fighting against yourself. You holding back. We are how Hashem Yashai want to bless you with, in the sense of receiving that heavenly gift, which is the kingdom. And when I say you is the enemy, in the sense of you holding on to grudges, you're holding on to a ought that a brother did to you, or whoever did to you that is close to you in this truth, right? Or whoever it may be, because the scriptures clearly tell you in the book, I think it's Romans 11 and 15 or 14. Romans 11. Is it 11 or 12? Let me see. Where this guy says reconciliation of the world. 15. Let me see Romans 12. Right, Romans 12 and verse 18, it says, "If it be possible, as much as light in you, live peaceably with all men." Right? So in that aspect, you hate Esau, No, I mean in the lobby, so don't get it twisted. But the scripture says, if possible, right? Live peaceably with all men. You know, because you ain't gonna be on your job site and and you're working for Edomite and you tell them he's a Edomite, you're going to slavery, you ain't gonna do that. You know, but you're gonna live peaceably. Talk, laugh, whoever the case might be, that is showing fruits of the spirit there. Right? And as I mentioned, fruits of the spirit don't involve you hating or holding on to grudges with a brother or whoever it might be, because that blocking you from seeing the right path, that blocking you from inheriting that heavenly gift, right? Because the scripture today we press towards the mark, And I'm gonna bring some scriptures in a few, but I just want to get the point that I'm making a little bit clear concerning who the enemy is. The main enemy you're fighting against is yourself. You are your biggest enemy. Your mind. You see, you are your biggest enemy. Everything starts up there. You know. So you holding that out with your brother, and then you're still going out on the highways and byways and prophesying, right? You're having some problem, some form of difficulty with your brother, but you're still going out on the highways and byways. You're going about your business like the Lord dealing with you. In the book of Matthew chapter 7 and 21, right? In the book of Matthew chapter 7 and verse 21. And this lesson wouldn't be long. This lesson would just be a quick lesson. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 21, it says, "Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, 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 shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many shall say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have we cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonders and wonderful works. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew thee, depart from me, you workers of iniquity." Right? So now everybody who's saying, Lord, Lord, calling on the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua is a part of the elect, or who the Lord chose. It have a lot of people who were in mass, right? But in order for you to really be accepted, you have to let go. You have to forgive. You have to truly forgive, right? Don't let that enemy, which is yourself, hold you back from inheriting the kingdom, or inheriting what we're fighting so long for, right? We are not of this world, so therefore we can't think like this world, right? The book of Galatians chapter 5, right? One second there. Paper stick down together. Bear with me for a second there. Galatians chapter 5, right? Verse 16. Galatians 5 and 16, and it says, couldn't load, what is that? Book of Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16 to 17, it says, "This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh." So if you walk in the spirit, you ain't gonna fulfill or benefit the flesh. Spiritually minded, right? So once you're in the spirit, you ain't gonna hold no grudges against no brother, right? You ain't gonna hold a hate towards no brother, because what I reason why I emphasize on brother, because That is one of the main things the scriptures speak about too. Brotherly love. Right? You can't say he's a man of the Lord and still hating a brother who going out there and have his and byways and doing the work of the Lord. You understand? That is also the enemy within you. You fighting against yourself. Scriptures speak about you loving Yahushua. You can't say you love Yahushua and hate your brother who you see, and love Yahushua who you never see. Right? It goes on, it says, verse 17, it says, for the flesh lusted against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to another. Yes, with that enmeshing, right? One to the other, so that ye cannot do the things of that you would. And the things that you would is the things that we really want to do. Why the Lord chose us to be in this truth, right? Why we continue to prophesy and do this work. What is the main goal? What is the main objective? To make it into the kingdom, right? So that's why the scripture also says in the book of Matthew chapter 6, forgive us this day our trespass as we forgive those who trespass against us. See that Matthew chapter 5, chapter 6, right? As we forgive those who trespass against us. In order for you to get forgiveness, you have to forgive, right? You have to conquer the enemy, and that enemy, as you see on the screen, is yourself. You is your biggest enemy, right? In the book of this could be my last scripture here. This is it'll be James. It'll be James chapter 4 and verse 1. James chapter 4 and verse 1, it says, for whence cometh war and fighting amongst you? Come they not hence, even of your lust that war in your members? Ye lust and have not. It says, Silak, ye lust and have not. Ye kill and desire to have and cannot obtain. Ye fight and war, yet ye have not because ye ask amiss. But mainly the point, Silak, but mainly the point is verse 1. It says, from whence cometh war fighting amongst you? Come they not hence, even of your lust that war in your members. Now this are using this as a twofold, because this could speak about the body in general, yeah, or you as an individual in your members, right? Mainly your lab, your mind. You fighting against your own mind. You fighting against your own self. You understand? Lust, right? Lust of the flesh, right? And all these unclean and unrighteous things you might be thinking about that hindering you from inheriting that spiritual helmet or that spiritual crown. See, you had to fight, as you see in the picture. You had to fight, you had to fight the enemy. And we're not just fighting alone, because it have a certain point where a fight have to end. So when you're fighting the enemy, you gotta make sure you conquer the enemy, right? So you gotta take control of your own mind. So hopefully this video is edifying. I want to give all praises again to H.O.B. Hashem Yashai. Double honors be unto the apostles of great millstone, who well study, teaching and blessing to the Akim, pushing this witness in safety and in truth. Shout out to the Lord's hopeful and sincere elect.